Have you ever sat alone and wondered why some people are impossible to forget? Not because they were the most beautiful, not because they said all the right things, but because of how they made someone feel deep inside in a way that stayed long after they were gone. There are people who enter someone's life like noise, loud, temporary, and easy to replace. And then there are people who enter quietly but leave something permanent behind. This is the story of one of those people. Her name was Aisha. Aisha was not the kind of woman who tried to be noticed. She didn't compete for attention, and she didn't believe in proving her worth to anyone. In a world where people were constantly trying to stand out, she had chosen something different. She had chosen to be real. There was a softness in the way she spoke, but also strength in the way she carried herself. She didn't interrupt others to be heard. She didn't change her personality to fit into conversations. She simply existed as she was, and somehow that made her presence feel calm, almost comforting. But she wasn't always like this. There was a time when Aisha gave too much of herself to people who didn't understand her. A time when she thought love meant sacrifice, meant waiting, meant trying harder when things felt one-sided. She had experienced what it felt like to care deeply and receive very little in return. And that experience didn't make her bitter. It made her aware. She realized something most people learn too late, that love should never feel like a constant effort to be chosen. So she made a quiet promise to herself. She would never again chase someone who was unsure about her. She would never again try to convince someone to stay. And most importantly, she would never lose herself in the process of loving someone else. Then one day, without planning it, without expecting it, she met Zayn. Zayn was everything Aisha was not. Confident, composed, and always in control. He walked into rooms with a presence that people immediately noticed. Conversation seemed to revolve around him, and attention followed him naturally. He had built a life where everything looked perfect from the outside, but internally, things were different. Zayn didn't believe in love the way others did. To him, love was unpredictable, temporary, something people talked about when they were happy, and blamed when things fell apart. He had seen relationships fail, promises break, and emotions change too quickly. So he adapted. He learned how to stay emotionally distant, how to enjoy connections without becoming attached, how to walk away before things became too real. It wasn't that he didn't feel. It was that he didn't trust feelings to last. And that mindset worked for him until he met Aisha. Their first interaction was simple. No dramatic moment. No instant connection that felt overwhelming. Just a conversation that started like any other. But what made it different was what happened underneath the surface. When Zayn spoke, Aisha listened. Not the kind of listening where someone waits for their turn to talk. Not the kind where someone nods without understanding. She listened with attention, with curiosity, with genuine interest, and it caught him off guard. Because he wasn't used to being listened to that way. Most people heard his words. Very few understood them. But Aisha did something different. She paid attention not just to what he said, but how he said it. She noticed the small pauses, the subtle changes in his tone, the emotions he tried to hide behind confidence. And without saying anything directly, she made him feel understood. That feeling stayed with him. Days passed, and their conversations continued. Nothing forced, nothing planned. Just moments that seemed normal on the outside, but slowly became meaningful. Aisha never tried to impress him. She didn't exaggerate her personality or try to match his energy. She remained consistent, calm, present, and genuine. And something about that consistency made Zayn feel comfortable. For the first time in a long time, he didn't feel like he had to maintain an image. He didn't feel like he had to say the right things or act a certain way. He could just be himself. And that scared him more than anything. Because being yourself means being vulnerable. And vulnerability was something he had spent years avoiding. Still, he found himself drawn to her. Not because she chased him, but because she didn't. Not because she demanded his attention, but because she never needed to. There was a quiet confidence in the way she interacted with him. She didn't try to hold on to conversations longer than necessary. She didn't react emotionally when he took time to respond. She didn't question his actions or try to control his behavior. She simply allowed things to be. And that created something rare. Emotional safety. Zayn didn't realize it at first, but over time, he began to open up. He started sharing thoughts he usually kept to himself, talking about things that didn't fit his usual image of strength, admitting doubts, fears, and moments of uncertainty. And every time he did, Aisha didn't judge him. She didn't try to fix him. She just listened. And sometimes that's all a person needs. But as the connection grew deeper, so did the fear. Zayn began to feel something he hadn't felt in a long time: attachment. And with attachment came the possibility of loss. So, like many people do when things start to feel too real, he pulled away, slowly at first, then more noticeably. His messages became shorter, his responses less frequent. The energy between them shifted. For most people, this is where panic begins. Questions start forming, doubts take over, emotions become overwhelming. But Aisha didn't react like most people. She didn't chase him. She didn't ask him what changed. She didn't try to bring things back to how they were. Instead, she stepped back, not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of understanding. She knew that forcing someone to stay never leads to real connection. And more importantly, she respected herself enough not to run after someone who was creating distance. So she focused on her own life, her own peace, her own balance. Meanwhile, something unexpected was happening to Zayn. In the silence, he started to feel something missing. The conversations he had grown used to were no longer there. The calmness he felt when talking to her was gone. And for the first time, he noticed her absence. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was there, and it made him think. He realized that what he missed wasn't just the interaction. It was a feeling, the way she made things feel simple, the way she understood him without needing explanations, the way she never made him feel pressured, yet somehow made him feel valued. And that realization stayed with him until one night, he found himself going back to their old conversations, reading messages he had once overlooked, noticing things he hadn't appreciated before. And in that quiet moment, everything became clear. She wasn't like the others. She never tried to keep him. And maybe that's why he wanted to stay. So he reached out again, not knowing what to expect. Maybe distance, maybe indifference, maybe nothing at all. But Aisha responded the same way she always had. Calm, warm, present, no emotional reaction, no questions, no attempt to make him feel guilty, just genuine energy. And that moment shifted something inside him, because he realized something important. She wasn't waiting for him. She was choosing him. And being chosen feels very different from being needed. From that point on, things changed. Their conversations became deeper, more honest, more real. Zayn started opening up in ways he never had before, talking about his past, his fears, the reasons behind his emotional distance. And Aisha listened, not to fix him, not to change him, but to understand him. And in that understanding, something real began to grow. Then came a moment that tested everything. Zayn was given opportunity, a chance to move away, to start a new chapter in his life. It was the kind of decision he would normally make without hesitation. But this time, it wasn't that simple. Because now, there was someone who mattered, someone who made him feel something real. So he met Aisha one evening. "I might leave," he said. Aisha looked at him calmly. "That's okay," she replied. No fear, no pressure, no attempt to change his decision, just acceptance. And in that moment, everything became clear to him. She didn't need him to stay. She wanted him to stay. And that difference changed everything. That night, he couldn't stop thinking about her calmness, her strength, her ability to let things be without trying to control them. And he finally understood what made her different. She never tried to force love. She allowed it. The next day, he made his decision, not based on fear, not based on pressure, but based on how he truly felt. He chose to stay. When he saw her again, there was something different in his eyes, something real, something certain. "I don't want to leave," he said. Aisha looked at him quietly. "Why?" she asked, and his answer was simple. "Because with you, I don't feel like I have to run anymore." There was no dramatic ending, no perfect moment, just a quiet understanding between two people who had found something rare, something real. And maybe that's what love truly is. Not something you chase, not something you force, but something that grows when two people feel safe enough to be themselves. So if you're wondering how to make someone feel real love for you, remember this. Don't try to impress them. Don't try to control their feelings. And don't lose yourself trying to keep them. Instead, be present, be real, and give them the space to feel something genuine on